Every Christmas and New Year season, Sierra Leoneans across the country engage in various activities in commemoration of the festive season. Many Sierra Leoneans in the diaspora travel home for holidays to spend time with their families and loved ones. Unfortunately, we cannot celebrate our Christmas and New Year as we used to due to the outbreak of the Ebola virus disease. This is part of the continuous sacrifice we have to make as a people to support the effort by government, non-governmental organizations, and the international community to break the chain of transmission and contain the Ebola virus. Many families across the country at this time will either be thinking about their relatives who have been infected by the Ebola virus disease, or those family members who have lost loved ones to the Ebola virus. To the nation, the passing away of over 100 health workers, including nearly a dozen medical doctors, is a great loss and a setback to a healthcare infrastructure that was already breaking at the seams even before the outbreak. Children who have been left as orphans, rather than commemorating Christmas like other children, will be thinking of how different this festive season would have been for them had both parents or mother or father been spared by the Ebola virus disease. Without doubt, the stubborn increase in the infection rate of Ebola is a serious concern for every Sierra Leonean at home and abroad. Therefore, whilst I recognize the continued effort by the government of Sierra Leone and our development partners in the fight against the Ebola virus disease, I urge the leadership to mobilize the entire country to bring an end to this national calamity without further delay. In particular, I implore the government of Sierra Leone to intensify efforts in the following areas: contact tracing, indiscriminate enforcement of laws and bylaws, close monitoring of quarantined homes and communities, community sensitization, regular payment of salaries and allowances of frontline workers, and the adequate supply of personal protective equipment to both public and private health clinics. Furthermore, the fear of contracting the disease has caused many doctors and health workers to travel out of the country or to cease practice. There are frequent reports of deaths caused by non-Ebola diseases because healthcare workers have fear to provide treatment. To avoid such unwarranted deaths, I call on government to deploy some foreign health workers alongside their local counterparts in specially designated hospitals and clinics to provide treatment to non-Ebola patients. Unlike previous Christmas and other festive seasons, this time we have many international health workers and support staff from donor agencies and goodwill countries who have come to Sierra Leone to help us in the fight against this deadly virus. At a time like this, these health workers and support staff would have been in their respective countries enjoying Christmas and the festive season with their families, but they have forgone that to help us in defeating this virus. I want to express my deepest appreciation for their continued support. As Sierra Leoneans at home and abroad, despite our present state of anxiety about the persistent increase in the infection rate of the Ebola virus, I want to remind the fellow citizens that Christmas is a time to remember the birth and life of Jesus Christ. As a Christian myself, I appeal to both Christians and Muslims to use this opportunity to pray for our country. We must also remember in our prayers all those doctors, nurses, and other health workers and support staff who continue to put their lives at risk on a daily basis in the effort to defeat this virus. And we should never forget the many doctors and nurses who have given their lives in serving their country and humanity. They deserve our fullest honor. I call on all Sierra Leoneans to continue to support the government as we collectively fight to break the chain of transmission and contain the virus. I encourage all of us to look forward to a new year with hope and optimism that we will defeat Ebola and begin to rebuild our broken lives, communities, and our country. As a people and a country, our collective fortitude has been tested in the past in times of war, and we overcame the odds. We must use that great fortitude in us to defeat the Ebola virus disease collectively as one people and one country. I salute the extraordinary courage of international health workers and the tremendous support Sierra Leone has received from countries like the United Kingdom, China, United States of America, Cuba, Nigeria, and other AU member states, and a host of other countries. I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a 2015 of hope and optimism. God bless Sierra Leone.